The visiting room of Blackwood Correctional Facility smelled like stale coffee and industrial cleaner. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting a sickly glow over the plastic chairs and scratched tables. Lisa Reynolds smoothed her skirt as she waited, her fingers tracing the rim of her paper coffee cup. She glanced at the clock. 10 minutes late. Mark was never late for visits. Across the room, Officer Daniel Carter leaned against the wall, arms crossed. His eyes met hers for just a second too long before he looked away. When Mark finally shuffled in, his orange jumpsuit hanging loose on his frame, Lisa forced a smile. "You look tired," she said. He didn't answer, just sat down heavily. Embezzlement charges had taken everything. Their savings, their house, their friends. 2 years into his 8-year sentence, the man she married was gone, replaced by this hollowed-out stranger. The conversation was the same as every week. How was work? Fine. Had she talked to his lawyer? Not yet. Did she remember to pay? The storage unit? Yes. But today something was off. Mark's eyes kept darting to Daniel, who was pretending not to watch them. "You know that guard?" Mark asked suddenly. Lisa's coffee cup slipped in her hands. "Who? Him? No, I mean, he's just always here?" Mark didn't press it, but the way he looked at her made her skin prickle. Outside the prison, rain had started to fall. Lisa sat in her car for a long time, gripping the steering wheel until her knuckles turned white. Her phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. "You okay?" She deleted it immediately, but her heart was racing. Daniel had given her his number, months ago, just in case. At first it was innocent, a friendly face in a place full of strangers. Then one night, after a particularly brutal visit with Mark, she called him, just to talk, just to hear someone say her name like she still mattered. Now, she couldn't stop. 6 weeks earlier. The diner was nearly empty at 11 p.m. Lisa stirred her coffee watching the door. When Daniel walked in, his uniform replaced by jeans and a hoodie, she barely recognized him. "You came," he said, sliding into the booth. His knee brushed against hers under the table. She didn't move away. They talked for hours, about everything except the prison. He told her about growing up in a military family, moving every year, never putting down roots. She told him about meeting Mark at a charity gala, how he'd swept her off her feet with expensive dinners and promises. "I didn't know who he really was," she whispered, "not until it was too late." Daniel reached across the table and took her hand. "You deserve better," he said. She should have pulled away. But for the first time in years, she felt seen. Mark knew. She could see it in the way he watched her now, his eyes dark with suspicion. "You're lying to me," he snapped during their next visit. "I can always tell." Across the room, Daniel stiffened. Lisa's throat went dry. "I don't know what you're talking about," she said, but her voice shook. That night, Daniel showed up at her apartment. "He's going to ruin everything," he said, pacing her tiny living room. "If he tells the warden I'll lose my job, you'll lose visitation." Lisa wrapped her arms around herself. "What do we do?" Daniel stopped pacing. His voice dropped to a whisper. "What if we left? All of it. Just disappeared." She should have said no. But the thought of another 6 years of this life, the empty apartment, the pitying looks, the slow erosion of who she used to be, was unbearable. The plan was simple. Daniel would disable Mark's cell block camera during shift change. Lisa would wait outside the service gate with a car. No one would notice Mark was missing until morning, but nothing went right. The camera shut off, but a passing guard spotted Daniel at the control panel. Mark, confused and furious, refused to move until Daniel hissed, "Lisa's waiting. Do you want out or not?" That got him moving. They were almost to the gate when the alarm blared. Footsteps pounded behind them. Mark turned, wild-eyed. "You set me up!" he snarled at Daniel. They crashed into the wall, fists flying. Lisa screamed. A gunshot echoed through the hallway. When the smoke cleared, Daniel was on the ground, clutching his leg. Mark was gone. So was Lisa. The news vans camped outside Lisa's apartment for weeks. Prison guard shot in botched escape attempt. Wife of convicted embezzler still at large. Daniel survived, but his career was over. Under questioning, he cracked. Told them everything. The affair. The money he'd lent her. The plan, Lisa and Mark made it 3 states before a gas station clerk recognized them. He tackled Mark at the register while Lisa bolted for the car. She didn't get far. At her sentencing, the judge called her a danger to the institution of marriage and justice itself. Mark got 15 more years. Lisa got 5. Daniel moved away, changed his name. In the end, no one won. 3 years later, a parole officer slid a file across his desk. Lisa Reynolds was up for early release. "Model prisoner," the report said. "No incidents." The officer sighed. "You think she's learned her lesson?" His partner shrugged. "People like that, they only learn how to hide it better." Outside, rain tapped against the window. Somewhere, a guard changed shifts. A wife visited. Her husband. A camera blinked red in the corner, and the cycle began again.